So this is PETCS's GitHub workshop. So before we start, we obviously got to talk about what GitHub is. And GitHub is essentially a hosting platform for software development and version control using Git. So it's like how Google Drive is a collaborative platform to work on school projects. I've also mentioned Git, but Git does not equal GitHub, and I'll explain that in the next slide. But essentially, because this is really important, we won't be using Git, but we will be using GitHub. So Git versus GitHub. So Git is an open source version control software tool. It is installed locally on your computer and it's used in the command line. Whereas GitHub is an online cloud hosted platform. So it's a website and it implements Git in a very clear and user friendly way. So it's not the only cloud platform that does that. You'll actually find that there's other websites like GitLab and Bitbucket that do the same thing as GitHub. But I would say overall, GitHub is the largest and the most like it's what like companies usually look when they're hiring at you when they're looking at your portfolio. So why use GitHub? First of all, to organize your code. Version control, it lets you manage changes that you've done to your code, and it lets you share your code online. So whether or not it's for public use, so people can, I don't know, download your source code and use it for something, or to collaborate with others.
Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and create a GitHub account. Like, do you like show them or is it like?
Oh yeah, sure. I'm screen sharing anyways. So I'll probably just yeah, there we go. Actually, I think I might already be. Wait, that was kind of bad. Um, can I make a new tab? Actually, wait. Yeah, I'll just do it like this then. Incognito window, because I think I might be logged in already. But if you go to the websites,
Wait, I don't think we can see the incognito window.
oh damn. It might be because I'm sharing a tab. Oh, I'm sharing a tab. Okay, let me share my browser screen instead. You guys can see that now, right? Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. So essentially, when you go to the website github.com, you should have a sign up, assuming you don't have an account, and then you just need to create a username, have a valid email address, and make a password. I mean, email preferences are up to you. You have to verify your accounts. You might also have to check your email to like verify it from an email message. So maybe we can just take a few minutes to let people make their accounts, and then when you're done, just react with a check mark or something.
Drop your handles in the chat so everyone can follow each other.
Yeah, like your usernames. I don't know which new tab that is. Kind of see my history from that. Okay. So I'll be logged in, and then when you log in, I think it should look something like this.
Also, you can add like multiple emails, so you can have both your personal and school email in one account. So like,
For sure.
don't really worry about that.
That actually ties into something else we'll be getting into, and it's another reason why you should get GitHub. Yeah, we'll just wait for the check marks to come in before we move on to the next part. Oh, Java. Okay, wait. I'll do that later. Remind me later.
Wait, hold up, Lucy, you're not on dark mode?
For Chrome, no.
No, like GitHub dark mode.
Oh, there's a GitHub dark mode. Well,
You have to get like an
there is.
extension for that or something.
No, wait,
Yeah,
no,
wait,
you don't. No, wait,
it's
go
a
to your
setting?
profile.
Wait, I don't want to go to my settings on screen share. Wait, let me pause the share.
Yeah. I think if you go to your profile, there should be a thing.
Oh, it's new. There's like
But
a new
no, wait,
thing.
it's been out for like so many weeks.
I've definitely checked before it, and also there's like a new badge next to it, so it's definitely new.
No, it's been out for a while. Come on. Wait, hold up, where is it? I think it's in profile. Yeah, go to your profile, and then at like the top, there should be like
Yeah.
a sticker.
So basically your profile, and then right in the corner. I really love that little animation.
There we go.
Have you guys made your accounts yet? Because I don't see any. Hopefully this is really straightforward, making a GitHub account. Oh, people have been putting in their, someone put in their, wait, should I be like sharing this? Okay, I'll pause my share and add them.
Yes, Eddie, that is in progress. Unfortunately, I have to finish my AIF first.
Do people need any more time? Because I think I'll just talk about the other reason why you should get GitHub to like convince the rest of you who haven't made accounts for accounts yet. So GitHub, actually, Eddie, you want to talk about this one?
Sure.
Okay.
So basically, if you like are a student, then you get to get a bunch of free stuff. So yeah, it has a lot of useful softwares that you would otherwise have to pay for, and yes, it's very recommended. Here's a link to it right here in the chat. So use your GAPS email to get it, and then boom.
Yeah, it might say you're from Unionville High School, just ignore that. For some reason, it like stereotypes all Wired DSP students to Unionville. I would show you how to do this, but I've already redeemed mine. So I think it's pretty straightforward to figure out. So yeah, claim your student developer pack. You get lots of cool stuff.
I think it takes a bit of time to take effect too.
Yeah.
Like you have to wait for an email from them, I think.
If you use your skill email, because I remember when I did it, it only took like a few minutes, like because I had the school email. But if you don't have a school email, like your GAPS email, then you have to send like a photo evidence that you're a student, and that will take longer. But I think everyone should have a GAPS email if you're in the Zoom call, right?
I think people have questions in the chat.
How can you see? The problem is I've already claimed it, so I don't know if I can't really show that, can I? It's asking for an account code. If you're logged into your GitHub account, like on the same, like on the browser, it should like give that as an option to select. So make sure you're logged on to GitHub.
To add your school email, go to settings, which is you get your profile picture at the top right, and then go to emails, and then you can add your school email there.
It should also give you the option to add the school email in the like link. Although I don't know if they changed it because GitHub has had a few. Everyone goes to Greenville, yes. You don't have to make it a primary, I don't think. As long as you have it there. You could put anything. What are the options? You could just say maybe like self projects or something. I mean, you can, oh, just say that you want to work on projects. You can really write anything as long as it's appropriate.
Oh, yo, side note, but it looks like Apple is collaborating with Hyundai to make an Apple car.
Oh. Oh, like, do you want me to go all the way back? Or just on this slide? Okay. Do we need more time to claim the student developer pack? You can do this anytime. There's no like hard deadline. As long as you're still a student by the time you claim it. Okay, I think we're gonna start on the basic GitHub. Because it doesn't seem is anyone need a little bit more time.
Maybe React if you done.
React if you're done. I don't know if I can see reactions. I should be okay. I can. Only one person. Okay. We have 4 people. Got a thumbs up. I'm not even sure if this is like I'm done or not.
Fun fact, GitHub's code is not open source.
Wait, that is so
Sketchy.
I mean, they do have like a $1 billion company built off of that code, so.
Yeah, they share that, you know.
You know the same person who made GitHub made Linux? I think you guys should start because.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna assume, because this is where we actually start doing things. So the first thing we're gonna do is create a repository. So basically, a repository or repo is a storage location where your code is uploaded. And to create one, you just click the plus button at the top right when logged in, and then you select new repository. And I'll just show this actually. I don't know if I should stay with light mode because I kind of took the screenshots in light mode, but you know, everything's the same. So right here, new repository. So if you don't see this page, you either just go straight to github.com or you can click here and it will bring you back to this page. And you can also make a new repository here. So I'll just do it like how I showed on the slideshow. And let me go back to the slides for a second. Once you're on that page, you want to first of all name your repo. So you name your repo here. Owner should be your account that you just made. You can add a description if you want, which is just description of your like project or your repository of the code you've uploaded. Then you have the option to make it public or private. For this case, you can just make it public so I can like help you out if something's going on. So I can actually like see your repo. And then finally, you have these files that you can initialize your repository with. These are all technically optional, but for this tutorial, add the readme file. So you want to click that off, and then you want to click create repository. And I think I will also make a, call it PETCS test.
I think you should call it Crispy Google.
Okay, we're calling it Crispy Google. Oh, very cool code here. And I'm gonna make it public. I'm gonna add that readme file. and we're going to create the repository. A gitignore file, I think it explains right here. Basically, it's just a file that stores file names that will not be tracked by Git. So it will ignore those files when you try to commit them. And a license is just basically licensing your code. I mean, for now, I don't think we really need to license your code, but I mean, something to think of if you're making an open source project. Then we're going to create the repository. Eddie, no! Wait, can you delete Zoom messages? You can only copy them. Okay.
You can't.
Oh yeah, when you create your repo, you should be on your repository, just like you saw beforehand. It brought me to the newly created repository. Why don't you take it away, Eddie? Teach them how to make branches.
Yeah, so a branch is basically a copy of a repository's code at that time, and you can use it to test changes and whatnot without messing up the original code. And once you're satisfied with it, you can merge it back into the original branch. So to create a branch, you go to the repository and select the code tab, and once you press the drop down menu,
it should be like main, and then you click that.
Yeah.
I think this would be easier to show them because this slide is just mainly like a recap of how to do so. So on Crispy Giggle, if you go down here, you click down this drop down menu. You want to write your new branch name, so we're gonna call it, because I'm so creative, new branch, and you're gonna click enter, and it will create a new branch called, well, new branch or whatever you called it. And basically this is a really important drop down menu because it lets you switch between branches. So make sure you're on new branch. Very cool code here. And then yeah, that's the same thing. We're gonna make changes to that file. Yeah, branches are really important because essentially they let you make changes without like changing the source code, because what if you make a mistake or you mess something up, you always have that version to go back to on the main branch. So we're going to make a change on the branch. So specifically we're going to edit the readme.md file. So basically you click the readme file, and then on the right side there should be a pencil icon when you click on it, and then you can edit it. So actually, Eddie, can you send the link for Markdown? Because I'll be explaining it once I physically show them.
Yeah.
Thank you. So click here, scroll down, and you want to edit it. So essentially, github.md files, or just md files in general, they use a language called Markdown, and it's just a way to style text. So the link Eddie sent is just essentially a cheat sheet that shows you all the shortcuts for how to style a text. So you can see I can, I don't know, make a list. We can make a list called cool execs. We've got me, of course. We've got Eddie, we've got Albert, and Ethan. If we preview those changes, you'll see them there. So maybe spend a minute, messing around with Markdown and, editing the file. While we're doing that, if you guys need me to go back and show another step, please tell me, because this is a lot of information in a short period of time.
Yeah. Note that in like README files, if you press enter, make a new line, like it doesn't actually make a new line, I think. Like,
yeah, there's like different flavors of Markdown too. But like,
yeah, you see, if you want a new line, it's due too.
Yeah.
Or you can put like a slash or something. It'll be in the Markdown.
I think it's a //
a forward slash and then
I think just the forward. I think you
I
have to
think
put
the
the
cheat
forward
sheet
slash
should say.
before that like line or something.
Like, well, I think the cheat sheet should say what it is. Let's see. Images, tables.
Line breaks.
Yeah, I think it would be under a line break. Yeah, okay, yeah. So usually I do that, which is, press enter twice. But there should be a way to do it. Am I missing it?
Doesn't like two enters like have a space between two
Yeah, there
lines?
is a space between.
You can put a forward slash in front of the first line, I think.
Forward slash in front of the first line. Let's give that a little shot.
Right. Is that for no the other direction? I don't really know what they're called.
Backslash? Yeah, there we go, the backslash. So has everyone, give me a check mark if you're done messing around with your readme file.
You can also add like videos and images. Oh wait, I think they give you they allow you to like drop videos and stuff in now.
Yeah, you can link videos. As for linking images, you can actually link images in like your repository, but I can't really show that because we don't have any images in the repository right now. But it's something to think of.
Like I remember I had to like host the image online and like have a link to
Yeah,
it.
you have to host it online if you want to link it, or you can just put it in your repository and then call the path.
I think you can
like
drag it in now. I think like if you just drag an image from to your Finder in, I think it works. Or maybe that's only for comments. I don't actually know. But
what do you mean by how do we run?
think of it like a text file, kind of, but like a glorified text file.
Yeah, it's a fancy like text file.
Like it's not technically code; it's markup. So
yeah, I think it's more akin to like HTML than it is an actual programming language.
Like your README is more to just like sort of document or like highlight like what your code or repository is doing.
Yeah, we can maybe show some examples of repositories later. To see like show the Greenfoot Tower Defense repository later and explain some of the things there. So are we good? I'm also going to teach you how to commit to the changes to the branch. So actually, I think I could show that right now because it's like right here. I don't think we need the slideshow. Oh yeah, the Flutter repository. You want to make apps like Albert, TSAC. So once you're done editing your readme.md file, if you scroll to the bottom, you can commit your changes. So this is essentially a short description, and then this is a optional like long description of what you've changed. So I'm gonna just, we can keep it, because if you don't put anything, it will just automatically be update readme.md. So I'll leave it like that because we did update it. And we want to commit directly to the new branch that we just created. We don't need to create another branch because we've already, created the branch. And then we commit our changes. I mean, you want to write a description?
Okay, I mean technically, if it's like that simple, you probably don't need it. But
yeah,
it's always good practice to like at least like
yeah,
write what you changed or like something.
and it's also good practice to write descriptive branches instead of new branch. Maybe your name, like your username, and then dash branch, and then like maybe a version, or maybe a branch based off of what you changed overall. So once you do that, you commit your changes. And then if you go back to code, you should see the changes. And here's the really cool part. Watch this. If you go to main, there's no changes. the new branch has it because we've committed it onto this new branch. So that's like the general workflow of GitHub. Let's see what's next on the agenda. So we've learned how to commit our changes. Again, write a description, and then usually you don't have to write an extended description. Just usually fill out the short description, and then you commit your changes. So now we're gonna teach you pull requests. So a pull request or a PR is a way of merging different branches into the main branch. So basically, once you're done your changes, you're satisfied, you want to obviously merge them into the source code, which is what we do through pull requests. So I think the best way is to just show these. Because I think this is when we upload the slides and you ever need review, you can always look at this. So when we go to new pull requests, you can either press this or you can just make a new pull request. And then you want to switch compare to the branch you created, and you want to the base to be main because you're comparing the new branch to main. If you scroll down here, you can see the changes. So obviously you can see the changes we've made. We want to create the pull requests, and here is where you write what you changed. So this, if you're collaborating with people, this basically, helps them see what you've changed. So you can write like a long description, I changed this, blah, blah, blah. In this case, I only changed the Readme file, and I don't have any collaborators on this. So I'll just write, I made the readme.md file cooler. This sidebar here, really works when you have collaborators working on your repository. You can add reviewers. So basically, if you have partners, you can add them to review your code. Usually assigning, you assign yourself because you're responsible for this pull request. Labels, again, it's to organize your pull requests. So documentation, duplicates, yeah. But we don't have to fill this out. We just want to create the pull requests. So once you create the pull request, go back to code, and go back to pull request, you'll notice that there will be open pull requests, and we go back here, we'll be on this page. If you want to see the files changed, you can see them here. And of course, if you want to merge the pull request, you do it down here. So obviously, we're happy with our changes, we're going to merge it. We're going to press confirm merge. And then you're going to delete the branch because now that the changes are merged in, we don't need the branch anymore. So now if we go back to code and we're on the main branch, we'll notice that the changes have been merged. So to be honest, pull requests are really only useful when you're working with others and you want to merge different changes together. But this is just a simple, overview of how they work and how you could apply that in the future when you're working on projects. Have you guys done that, or should I show it again? Because I know that was kind of fast. Can we have some reactions? Maybe a thumbs up or a check mark that you got everything? The laughing emoji. Albert. Okay. Again, if you think it was too fast or you need me to go over something, just, maybe say in chat what you want me to go over again. I'll give that a minute because it does take time to type.
I think people are just trying to figure out like what GitHub does first. So maybe I think like actually putting like real code in it would be helpful.
Oh yes, our next example we will be showing like putting just a basic Python file into the repository. And then we can showcase some actual repositories. Let's go on to Albert's GitHub and look at his repos.
Nah, that's fine. Go to the Flutter
Good
one.
practice. Yeah, okay, we'll go to the Flutter one
Yeah.
because that one's open source and it's open to everyone.
I think the free code camp is actually the one with the most stars or something.
Yeah, we can also go to, I think, REPL. They have their GitHub.
Oh, I
and go
know.
to that one. All right, doesn't seem there's any comments, so we could talk about REPL integration.
Yeah. So REPL actually has a GitHub integration. So you probably have a REPL account already. So it's optional, but it's pretty helpful since we're doing a lot of things in REPL.
If you don't have a REPL account, you can still do the next like task. So I think these are. I think I should show these. Show this, but essentially you want to actually it will be slightly different because my GitHub account is already connected to my REPL.it. But you want to log into REPL.it. You want to create a new replit, you know, in the top right corner, like we showed on the first Python lesson. And you want to select the tab that says import from GitHub, and it's gonna probably prompt you to connect your GitHub and REPL.it accounts. And then after that, you want to import the repo that we created for this workshop. So whatever you called it, and you might have to authorize it with this like little button here. So I'll show that right now. This Zoom bar will get out of my way. I'm also using REPL Lite. Wait, is there a dark mode for like the website itself?
I don't think so.
It's just the, oh damn, that sucks.
Wait, they really should make a dark mode.
Yeah, like they have a dark mode from, okay, so they have a dark mode for the actual like editor, but like, so yeah, for me it looks like this because I've already connected my account, and I'm gonna be adding the crispy giggle. And then you're gonna create basically, and you should be the owner, and you want to import it from GitHub. And essentially this will just clone the repository to REPL.it. Okay, this doesn't really matter. You can ignore the right side. And if you're done, just give me a check mark so I know. I mean, how many of you people actually connected your REPL accounts? It is kind of optional. Okay. Because we have 20 minutes left, I'm gonna show the next part of the REPL integration. I can always go back and show you guys if it was too fast or you need me to repeat something. But once you clone the repo onto Replit, you'll notice that it looks like this. You'll have like this side, like left side panel, and we're gonna focus on these first like two icons. So the first one is just basically your files in your repository. You might have to, I think I said this before, but when you're creating it, you might have to remove repos. So you have to click that and manually add it. Yeah, I can show this again. you can either do all repositories or only select. If you do select, you have to select the repository you want. And then you need to save it. Obviously, I'm not going to scroll down because it's a little dangerous. Okay. And then once you do that, you just create it, like how you normally create a REPL file. Anyways, the first tab or icon on the left side is just all the files that are in your repository that you can just access them. You can just edit them straight from repl.it. And the second one is the version control tab, which essentially allows you to do everything we just showed you. So make branches with this plus button, commit changes. Yeah, let me just show it to you. Right? So we can switch between branches. We don't have any. We can make new branches. I think that's pretty straightforward. We could commit to the main branch if we make changes here. So we can write a description and make the changes. It even shows you your previous commits here, and you can revert back to them. So now we know how to use basic GitHub, and we know how to integrate it into repl.it. We're gonna have like just a mini task. So if you imported your repo to Replit, you want to make a new file called main.py. Write some executable Python code. Could be anything you want, like print hello world, blah, blah, blah. And then you want to use the version control tab to commit the changes to the main branch and then check those changes out on GitHub. If you did not connect to repl.it, you can just do it on like the GitHub repository. So we can also show, I think we can show both of those. Do you guys want a few minutes to try it out before by yourselves before I show? Just like a show of hands, like reactions or anything? Because I'm not sure if you guys are completely lost.
I think what would be good is if you are actually making a game, and you have some like existing code, you could just take that and paste it into here.
You could do that too, yeah. That's also a really good idea. Oh, and if you're done doing this task, whether it is through the GitHub like website itself or through REPL, please react with the check mark, just so I know that you guys are still here and following along. Okay, that's good to know. All right, I'll give you guys one more minute to, and then I'll just take it up. Sometimes maybe it's easier to like show it for it to make sense. Wait, I don't expose us. Yeah, we've been exposed. There's been a. Okay, your minute is up. Actually, I kind of gave more than a minute. Okay. So first, I'll show it through REPL.it because oh, you guys actually made it private. Oh yeah. Okay. So for REPL.it, we want to obviously because REPL.it has lots of integration and stuff. You can just add a new file. We can call it main.py. .py is important because it's an extension that tells our computer or your computer that this is a Python file. And just hello world or whatever code you want to copy paste. Does anyone have any code you want me to copy and paste? Okay, then we go into our version control and we can see that it actually makes note of the changes that are made. And in this case, I don't usually recommend this committing to main, but if you're working on the project by yourself or like you're doing a really small change, I think overall it's okay to commit to main. So for just this demonstration, we're going to do that for time purposes. We're going to say we audit main.py and we're going to commit and push. This take a while. So when we go to crispy giggle, you'll notice that we have the main.py file and it has print hello world right here. So what if you didn't do it through REPL.it? Then you can just add the file, create a new file, name your file. We already have a main.py, so maybe just goodbye. And then we're gonna print goodbye. No semicolon. And we can just commit it. And it's right there. So I don't know if you guys need it, but I'll just share a link to the repository I just made for this workshop. And finally, I think that's it. Yeah, you've made it to the end. So we'll be sharing this slideshow, so you'll have access to these GitHub resources. So they're just overall tutorials on GitHub and the other features, because we didn't go over every feature. There's a lot more features to GitHub itself when you're uploading and sharing your code. Here's a Markdown cheat sheet again, if you want to write fancy Readme files. And finally, we didn't touch up on Git, but if you're interested in taking your experience with GitHub to the next level, we recommend learning Git. And we have a few resources for that. You can also use GitHub Desktop. But like if you guys are like being or serious with like CS and just GitHub in general, I really like Git is like a really like useful and important skill to have.
VS Code has also like a really good GitHub extension.
Yeah, they have really good integration too. Like if you guys use VS Code, it's an IDE. It's like it's really good, honestly.
Yeah.
Because like there's a lot of like integration stuff you can do.
People also like Atom too, which is actually made by GitHub.
Yeah, that one's also really good.
If you want to try that out.
And if you want to like specifically only be Python, you could do Pycharm, because I think they also have integration with GitHub too, or just Git in general.
Wait, I think you have to pay for Pycharm, right?
No, it's free. I mean, you can get the pro version, but the open source one, the community one,
okay.
It has all those features.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay, there's a lot of like IDEs out there. We're just like a lot, like hundreds of them. We're just saying like the top few that are like our own personal.
Like the mainstream one. I mean, you could
Right?
also use like Vim and like Emacs as like key bindings too. But
Yeah, if you guys really love the terminal aesthetic.
if you use that, I don't even think you need a code editor. But
Yeah, you know, there's even alternatives to Git actually. Because I think, wait, if we go all the way back to the top, I said Git is an open source. There's actually other version control tools out there. Like I think Mercurial is one.
I think there's one called like SVM too.
Yeah, there's like a lot. And again, GitHub's not the only cloud-hosted platform. You have GitLab, Bitbucket, all those things.
I mean, we're kind of mainstream though, so we'll go with
Yeah,
that.
you go with the flow with what everyone uses. My drawer is opening right there. I think we said we are going to show the Flutter. Here, let me get that link. So let me copy the link. Okay, there we go. So here's an example of a really big repository for Flutter, which essentially is used to make apps. I think Albert, you can probably talk about it more than I can since you've made that TSAC app.
Yeah, Flutter is very cool. It's actually pretty similar to Java. If you guys want to consider making like a mobile app or something, I mean, like the most like the way people usually do it is like they basically make a mobile app using like Xcode, and I think Android Studio. So you basically make like one app for each platform, but stuff like Flutter lets you make an app for both platforms from just one code base. Like you don't have to program it twice. And there's also something called React Native. So if you're looking into that, also quite similar. I personally think Flutter is better though, but it's a pretty big debate. So yeah, I think React is a pretty big thing.
I think it's also pretty big.
I think React has like 150K stars or something.
Got so many stars.
Yeah, I think it's like top 5 now. Actually, maybe not top 5 now, but we also posted So if you want to like get serious about coding, you probably want like a code editor like either Atom or VS Code. I posted them to the chat, so if you want to just try downloading them and see. But I mean, I guess you could get kind of far with Replit too, but yeah.
Okay, anyway, so this is an example of a really big collaborative like repository. You can see how many contributors there are. You can see what languages were used, and here's a really good README file that has, you know, all the documentation and tutorial and description of what Flutter is. All the source code is, you know, open for you to see. And you can even see that people are constantly making pull requests to improve Flutter in general. And they have all the tags and stuff.
Yeah, we should tell people about like open source stuff.
Yeah, so open source essentially means it's open for public use. I mean, I don't know if it goes any deeper than that.
Like there are people that actually like you see these open source codes, right? Like the reason that they're open source is one for people to see, but also for like people to contribute to. So there's like a lot of people who basically just spend their time contributing to repositories like Flutter that are open source, and they do it for free, and they basically just open pull requests and like do stuff and like make the library better. And it's actually pretty good for your like portfolio too. Like if you're looking to get like a job or something, you say, oh, I contributed like open source to X and Y repository. It's open source is like contributing to open source is actually like really huge. So if any of you are interested, you should. I mean, it can be quite difficult though, because you need to wrap your head around like huge code bases and stuff.
Yeah, you have to really understand how the open source code works in the first place. There's also forking repos, which we really didn't talk about. I don't know if we should get into that because that might be a whole nother basket of eggs. But we do have resources, so if you want to like look into that kind of stuff, you know, read up on GitHub and get I'm pretty sure they have. Yeah, they do.
The repos are kind of small though. Oh, wait, they have Replit in VS Code? No way.
Apparently they do. Huh.
What does it even
Whoa,
do?
okay.
Oh,
What
it's
does
an
you guys
extension.
know?
Wait, oh,
Okay.
well.
Well, rip. That's cool. But yeah, they also have their own GitHub. If you guys want to look at that for some reason. And yeah, they've
Oh,
created all these repositories for, you know, the REPL.it itself. That's really cool. Okay, we just made it because there's like 4 minutes left on the breakout room.
wait, shoot, damn, 4:25 already.
Yeah, so if you guys have any questions, you know, just pop them in chat.
Yes. And if you want to check out our PETCS organization, you can do that too.
Oh yeah, someone send the link to that.
Wait,
Did we turn in the game project? Well, I think this is the reason why we did the GitHub workshop, for you to upload the code onto GitHub and then share it to us. So essentially that's the way you can hand it in.
yeah, so next week we're actually going to be doing a project showcase of what y'all made. So that will be very exciting for at least those who made the projects. It'll be really cool to see what y'all made.